Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think I might be having some issues. This is good stuff. My camera is being very strange. Okay, is it just me or is that pretty messed up? Is my camera messed up? Let me know if anyone's out there that can help. That's never happened before. Okay, I'm just doing this on the fly. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everyone. I had some issues with my camera. I've plugged it back in and we're looking like we might be okay. Some technical issues there. Good evening from London. My name is Alf, aka FPL Logan Roy, aka AlfPL, and welcome to AlfPL, where strategies are dissected and dreams are built. I am on the fly sorting out my camera issue, so just bear with me. Boom. How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is happy and healthy on this Friday evening. There is a hell of a lot to get through tonight, let me tell you. Unbelievable amount of things to get through this evening. There is a lot going on. Sidesh, hello, good evening. How's it going, sir? Sorry about the technical issues at the beginning there. I just kind of turned on OBS and it was just like, my camera was all funky. Sidesh, how you doing? Great to have you here, man. And welcome to the channel. Yeah, kind of a new channel here. I focus on live shows, so going through FPL, Twitter, and just kind of seeing what the community are up to. It's such an incredible community, and you know, my experience on Twitter has always been such a good one, so I wanted to celebrate the Twitter community, and that is the reason behind this channel and why it exists. There's a lot to go through tonight. We've got a deadline tomorrow morning at 11 a.m, which is exciting. Overall rank for me at the moment is just outside the top 30k. So I am doing pretty good. And I'm hoping to get into the top 10k with my wildcard over the next few weeks. Yeah, Sidish, thanks for joining. That's really kind of you. Yeah, good to have you here, sir. If you want to send me your team for Gameweek 35 on Twitter, just get it. Just put me in a tweet, and I'll bring it up on screen. That's something that I do for a lot of the folks that join these live shows. So yeah, just pop me in a tweet. Put your team on there. We'll bring it up on screen and have a look at it. Are you wildcarding this week? Are you kind of just doing some hits? What's your plan? Oh, similar rank, but no wildcard. Oh, that sucks. But I'm sure you've got a plan, right? Which is the main thing. Maybe you're doing a few hits. Personally, for me, I did a load of hits in game week 29. So I think a lot of people either did hits on that game week or they're going to do hits on this game week. So you're just the one who's hitting this game week, right? But the free hit 34s were a little bit more lucky. Just a little bit more lucky, right? Yeah, cool. Good luck for the rest of the season, and great to have you here. Really appreciate you being with us this evening. If you give it a like, that would be great. Sedition, please do give it a subscribe. We really appreciate it. I am a brand new channel. I'm starting from the very bottom here, so it is really appreciated. Tonight, we are going to be going through a few things. Number one, we are going to be having a look at wildcard teams. We're going to be... I haven't quite decided what I'm going to be doing yet. So I've got a couple of ideas. I've got a loose idea of what I want to do. And I'm hoping you guys might be able to help me with my wildcard team, wildcard decisions this evening before the deadline tomorrow. We're going to be finishing off FPL Most Wanted. Well, let me just show you the free hit scene I've set up here for us. So this is my wildcard team for 35 so far. So I'm just gonna be playing around with this tonight and just kind of like having a look at what's possible. So if you guys have any thoughts or tips for me, that would be great. Really appreciate it. We can kind of get into it tonight. FPL Most Wanted. I'm excited about this. So I did a version of FPL Most Wanted on the live show last weekend, and it ended up like this. So the idea of this is the players who are most hyped for the game week, who delivered the least. Quite simple concept. Coming out of the first set of games, it was very much Mo Salah, who is most wanted on the FPL Most Wanted list. And then we had a couple of others like Saka, Havertz. This has changed slightly. Havertz had an absolute banger in the end, and then so did Brereton Diaz. Not a banger, but he did pretty well, got a goal. So we need to factor that in, and I've actually updated this for this evening, so we'll get into that tonight as well. And then we'll go through tweets. So we're going to go through a load of tweets this evening. It should be a pretty good time. Let me just bring this up here. So I'm going to show you the bookmark tweets that I did, and let's get into some of those first. So if I go to bookmarks here, let's do that. And I'm going to scroll down. I bookmarked a load of tweets today that I thought were interesting, which we're going to chat about today. And it looks like my chat's gone. Let me try and figure that out. Just problem solving on the fly here. There we go. That's better. Okay. So let's go back to my bookmarks. And we'll see a load of tweets from a load of people about the upcoming game week. I think we start with Marcin, actually. Yeah, we do. What a great place to start. Marcin, the man, the myth, the legend. Game week 34 free hitters going back to the original team. Yeah, imagine the high of having a game week like that, using your free hit to that extent, getting scores way over the 100 mark, and then having to go back to a crappy team with the likes of Gusto and other folks who either aren't very good now because it's been a couple of weeks. I mean, Salah, as an example, for me personally, I'd be pretty pissed off if I had Salah in my team right now, having to go with him. But having said that, Salah might slap. So you just never know with this team. PZ, welcome. Great to have you here. Moderator Mr. Bird is actually a little bit late late for the live show. See, he's over in Malaysia and he runs a bar in Malaysia, and he's moderating for me this evening, and he's just on his way back from work. So yeah, he'll be here in a mo, which is great. But PZ, great to have you here. It's always such a pleasure. Just for context, it's a brand new channel for me. I've gone completely solo with it. It's called AlfPL. Please do give it a subscribe, give it a like, and all that good stuff. And yeah, I've got a couple of your tweets that we'll be getting into today as well. Sidesh, I saw you posted your team, so that's fantastic. Why don't we bring that up on screen? So Okay, incredible. Here we go. Sidesh in the chat. Team is here. It looks a little better when, for some reason, I don't have it when I haven't maximized it on Twitter, but I can't see your subs when it's just like this. So let's look at the first team. So Petrovic, yeah, Ace, Burn, yep. Yeah, this is your issue, isn't it? You doggy Gusto. Salah, Son, Foden, incredible midfield. Yeah, a little bit of a stinky forward lineup. And then you got Garnacho, Gabriel. Yeah, I mean, awesome bench, right? So, yeah, you got a couple of fires to put out there. I think the most pressing fires, if you will, would be your defence, and probably getting a couple of those, either both or one or the other of Salah and Darwin out. But as I said, like, they could absolutely kill it this week. So it's just FPL, it's just the Premier League. You don't know what's going to happen. It could all work out for these Liverpool assets, but for me, I couldn't wait to wildcard out Salah, and I'm pretty sure you're not feeling great about Darwin. But yeah, who do you get in instead, right? So Isak would be a pretty obvious choice. From a defense standpoint, which is where I think you have issues, because let's say Darwin, you know, you go with a Darwin dice roll, he gets a goal, jobs are good in. But the defense is where you really do need to figure some stuff out. And for me personally, I've got my, as I said, I've got my wildcard team here on screen. I'll bring it up. So I like a couple of these defenders. Porro is an obvious one. He has been confirmed playing this weekend. Maguire, I think, is a good pick. He's first choice, I think, from a CB standpoint. And they've got Burnley at home. Share, kind of no need to talk about him too much. Everyone knows him. He scores goals. He gets clean sheets every now and again. And then there's like, for me, I've got like Gvardiol. I've got Gvardiol on the bench, and Dunk as well. So again, if we think about your team, you could just leave it. I don't know how many free transfers you got, but yeah, you've got Garnacho, you've got a very decent bench, right? So you could just leave it and see what happens. But for me personally, I would be trying to get rid of those some of those defenders. Gusto and Udogi would be the priority. But yeah, great team. And you said that you're same rank as me. What rank is that? Is that top 30k? I'm assuming. It's a nice one. Yeah, good luck for the game week as well. And give me a follow on Twitter, and I'll do the same thing back. 100%. Lovely little team. PZ, I think I've got your team coming up soon as well as a bookmark, so we'll get into that in a sec. There's quite a lot of scrolling, so excuse the movement here on the right. I just got to go back to where I was. Yeah, Haaland's starting. Not starting. Haaland's confirmed okay for this weekend, which is massive news. Absolutely massive news. I don't know what to do about Haaland. I really don't. Hopefully we can figure that out tonight. And this is kind of one of my issues. So I'm wondering whether or not I get an Alvarez. I'm really thinking about Alvarez, but it would be really risky. I mean, seeing Haaland training was a big deal. I think if we hadn't had those pitches, then I'd very much want to get him out because I can do more with my team from a money perspective. But also, Haaland's not been that great, has he? Let's be honest. He's not been that great. So I'm just wondering whether or not it's worth just getting him out. But people are very bullish on him for bench boost 37. So yeah, it's a tricky one for me. I don't quite know what I'm going to do, but yeah, best strikers to buy in Gameweek 35. I would agree with that. Alvarez and Højlund. I don't think yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I'm just not sure what to do with Haaland right now. But by the end of this stream tonight, I will have my team, my team drafted in full. Harry, I do wonder if we are picking Dallo just because there is money, there is spare money. Yeah, for sure. Like Maguire, I mentioned, I love him as a pick this week and for the next few game weeks. He scores goals, as you can see here, and he's going to get clean sheets as well that Dallo is going to be getting. So 0.35 goals and assists per 90. It's just that his stats are way better than Dallows. Hey, Mr. Bird is in the chat. Mr. Moderator, how are you, sir? How was your shift? Congrats on the win versus Barca on the weekend as well. Can't be understated. You might be able to hear we got a brand new baby in the living room. My newborn son, 9 weeks old. You might be able to hear him crying. My wife has given me an hour this evening, well, kind of an hour and 15ish. So, I'm looking to maximise that time with you guys before the game week tomorrow. I like Maguire over Dalot. Let's be real. Like, I think this is a really smart move to go for Maguire. He's like, I think 1 million less. His stats are better. He is their most nailed CB. Just the risk that Martinez and Varane are both back. I don't think they are back though, but we'll see. Yeah. I really like Maguire as a pick this week for sure. This is interesting. Rob T. Updated FPL double game week 35. Total projected points and odds of at least one clean sheet. Okay, so Sidesh, this is important stuff for you, right? When you think about the defenders that you're looking to get in. So Chelsea, Tottenham. So yeah, I mean, you have assets from both of those teams, but the issue is that they're not playing. So you just need to kind of have a think about which players you want in. I think Dizazi is a good shout. I think Petrovic as well at Chelsea is a really good shout. So I think that should actually perhaps be a priority for you. But then again, you do have that decent bench. Chelsea, Tottenham, Newcastle. So I think filling your defense with assets from these three teams is the way to go, and Man City. Yeah, thank you for my thanks, man. That's appreciated. Free at 34 was a complete success for me. I got 139 points. I can actually bring it up on screen because it was wild. Is this gonna work? No. I haven't got my team here. I can actually bring it up on. Right, if I go live. Game week 34. Here we go. 139 points, up the ranks by 56k. Best game week I think I've ever had. I think last year I got something like 125 off one game week. This is record breaking for me. So I'm up to just outside top 30k, and I got my wildcard and my bench boost to go as well. So yeah, really exciting times for me, and I'm hoping to get into that top 10k. Real Madrid playing Sociedad now too. Nice. I bet you got that on the telly in the background. Nice one. Good luck on that one. I saw Bellingham's out, but I think you should be all right. So let's have a look at this flipping wildcard team, because I've been umming and ahhing about this for a couple of days now. So I'm going to go over here to Fantasy Football Hub, and my current team that I've got is 93% for the game week. Sets me up nicely for bench boost 37. But it's just small things. Like, for example, let me tell you something that I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about getting Harvey Barnes in, but then who would I swap out? I could do a massive risk and take out Son, because he's not been great recently, and I'm a really big form guy. I really do believe in form. I lean on it a great deal when it comes to FPL. So when you think about Foden, you think about Bruno, you think about Gordon, Palmer, these guys are all top of their game. You say music off. Music. Are you telling me to turn the music off, Peter? I have just turned it down. Is that better? I've got it up a little bit. Or yeah, let me know if you want me to turn it off all the way. Is it a bit annoying? So I feel like my midfield is looking decent. But I just wonder if I do Harvey Barnes in as a punt. That's pretty risky because I need to take Cher out. So actually, I think that I need to stick with this midfield. But I've been thinking about doing two things. I've been thinking about getting Harvey Barnes in as a punt because I really like that. And these punts before I haven't followed through with, and they always end up hurting me. So I just think I need to follow my gut a little bit. I'm going to keep Gordon in, but I'm thinking maybe a double up, but then I can't have either Isak or Cher. So that's my quandary, if you will. This team is decent. One other thing as well is that I do like having Maguire in the first team, but then who would I drop for that? Maybe Gvardiol. And if you look here, Maguire's actually projected more points. So I'm thinking I do swap in Maguire for perhaps. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought I had turned it down. Is that better? Oh, I wonder what just happened there. Sorry, guys. How's that? How does that sound better? Hopefully that's better. Sorry about that. Yeah, having a few technical issues this evening. But what I'm saying is that I'm wondering if I do perhaps like Son out, which would be massively risky, and get in maybe Harvey Barnes. But then I'd need to drop either Isak or Cher. So I'm thinking that would be massively risky. Because, I mean, Son's a pretty decent captaincy pick, isn't he? So, yeah, that is a little bit tricky, I think. I'm just going to pop this. Hopefully, I think I figured out what happened with music, but I've just popped this up a little bit. So let me know if that's all right. So yeah, that's the kind of things that I'm thinking about. I also do really like KDB. So I'm wondering if I do perhaps Haaland out and then double up on some Man City midfielders. So maybe do Foden and KDB. That could be the way to do it. Yeah, Callum Wilson and Isak. Yeah, it's a very good point, and I do just wonder whether or not it might be worth getting Callum Wilson in as well. I did that last year, and that did me really well. But some of these moves are just massively risky. What I don't like about my team right now, Ken, is that it's just very template for this wildcard. Do you have a wildcard team that you are feeling good about? I know you sent me one last week, but things have changed, right? So I think Gusto's out now. A couple of other players are out. If you want to send me kind of your updated thoughts on Twitter, I'll bring it up on screen. But yeah, I think Maguire needs to start. First thing is Maguire needs to start for someone here. So who would we drop? I guess it'd be Gvardiol. I think that might be a good move. And then I got Petrovic in goal, Porro, Maguire, Cher, Son, Palmer, Gordon, Bruno, Foden, midfield. Don't like Jackson, but I just feel like he's got 2 game weeks. This goes against this player here goes against everything. Goes against my entire being right now. I feel like I really need to avoid him. But at the same time, I think that I might need to have him. So I don't really know what to do. I'm a little bit stuck on that. And then also another thing would be having Garnacho. So I like Garnacho as a punt this week. So, and then again, who would I take out from a midfield standpoint? I've been seeing a lot of people, and we'll get into this in a sec. I've been seeing a lot of people dropping Gordon out of their first team lineup, which is absolutely crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. So I think Gordon actually is one of my first picks on my wild card because they're playing Sheffield United at home. So that's a little bit strange. I think people are trying to double up on like Spurs midfield, which again I'm just not too sure about myself. Like sure, Brennan Johnson's a good player. Like Richarlison's back. Maddison, but these players have not been playing well recently, so I just think from a form perspective it doesn't make sense to bring them in. So that's kind of where my head's at with some of this stuff. I think I'm pretty locked in for Wildcard, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. So let's get into some more. So Focal, yeah. So this guy got 100 I think it was 209 points or something, so he bench boosted 219 points I think all in, but he took like a minus 52 hit for it. Yeah, here we go. 216 with triple captain Mateta, rank 16k, got booted out by this team created in Gameweek 28 and took a minus 52 hit for a 219 points, rank 10.6 mil. And he got team of the week. So yeah, I think that from my perspective, hits should definitely factor in here, right? That makes no sense to include that team. Are we overlooking Kyle Walker? Yeah, I'm wondering that as well. I mean, in my wild card, am I able to do perhaps like Gvardiol out for Kyle Walker? That could be nice. That could be nice. Tricky though, isn't it? It's tricky. I'm not sure about that, but I do like Kyle Walker, and I think that he's not going to be owned by many people. I think Gvardiol is like the template pick right now. But yeah, Kyle Walker could be a pretty good punt. He's very expensive, 5.3 mil. Yeah, this is massive. So Haaland's back in training. So if we hadn't had these pitches up today, I definitely would have been taking him up my wild card, maybe bring in Alvarez. But seeing that he's back, I think it's the right move to keep him in my wild card team. We've got a couple of notifications. Let's have a look. This guy's Captain Nicholas Jackson. He's done a -8. He's got Jackson as captain. That's mental, right? That is absolutely mental. Oh, nice one. Yeah, nice one, Ken. I got it up here. Cucurella. That's interesting. Yeah, I like Gabriel as a pick as well. I like this team a lot. This is a very, very nice team you got here, Ken. Yeah, this midfield is the one, isn't it? I think the way to think about it, and I might be overthinking it, right? Like, there aren't going to be that many people wildcarding. Like, I know that we see a lot of wildcard content, and that's because we're on Twitter and people are engaged. But I do just wonder what percentage of the managers will actually be wildcarding, which makes me think that whatever happens, we are at an advantage, right? Same thing with like free hit 34. So maybe I just don't need to overthink it. You know, if I just keep my team template, relatively template, you know, Captain Palmer, and just crack on with it. I don't need to kind of think about it too much. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm quite close to this, to be honest. Yeah, KDB Foden together instead of Bruno. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? I don't think I'd be able to afford. Let me just play around a little bit. So if I get rid of Bruno, De Bruyne. Yeah, looks like I can't afford that. But then if I took out Haaland, because I need to get a City player anyway. Watkins? I mean, is that... It's not bad, is it? Just have Watkins. Or could have got Gvardiol. Yeah, it's tricky. I'll have a little think about that myself. But yeah, I like that a lot. That's great. And it's a really decent game week rating as well. So that's spicy, Ken. I'm into it. I am into it. Let's have a look at some bookmarks. Let's have a little look. Okay, so yeah, Haaland's back. It's a bit of a headache. I'm wondering about whether or not I keep Haaland. PZ, here we go. So Wildcard 35. Petrovic, Edison, Gabriel, Cher, Porro, Dalot, Van Heck. Bruno, Palmer, Foden, Gordon, Son, Isak, Jackson, Haaland. Yeah. It's a bloody nice team. Yeah, Sidish, as I mentioned, like I did all of my minuses on game week 29. I did a -8 on game week 29. So I think that, you know, it's comparable, right? Like you just have to take your hits this week. It sucks a bit, but yeah, it's not the end of the world, is it? Just be careful about. Just have a good think about who you're bringing in, because I think personally, like there's going to be a lot of people who take a hit for Nicholas Jackson, and I just can't see him doing anything. And then I've got him in my team. Like, what am I doing? I mean, do I bench Jackson? And then if someone doesn't play, he'll come in. Like, I just don't know whether or not it's worth keeping him. He's got Arsenal. We've got Aston Villa away and Spurs at home. Do we really think Nicholas Jackson, based on his form, is going to be scoring in those two games? I don't think he will. So, like, I'm kind of gone off a tangent here, but what I'm saying is, like, if you're going to be taking hits, just really think about who you're bringing in. Like, if you're taking a hit for Foden or De Bruyne, then I think that makes perfect sense. Or Gordon, I think that makes sense. But those risky sort of picks, like Nicholas Jackson, I wouldn't take a hit for. So I think it all just depends on who you're looking to bring in. If I'm being honest. But yeah, let me know what keep us posted, man. Like let us know what you're going to be doing. If you want to put it in a tweet or something, or send me a message, I'd be intrigued to see how that plays out. Ninja FPL. Game week 35 wildcard is pushing double Newcastle defense. Yeah. I don't think double Newcastle defense is a good idea. I think you got to spread your bets. What I've got with my team, my wildcard team, is quite nice because I actually have one player from each team in pretty much defense, midfield, and attack, which I like. I like to spread my bets a bit. And, you know, who can you predict to get clean sheets at this point? Like, it's so difficult. So I think that going for a double anything, whether it's double defense, double midfield, double attack, is very risky in every sense when it comes to FPL. But then you do have things like double Arsenal paying off, or, you know, you could see KDB and Foden paying off against Nottingham Forest. So there are exceptions, but I think generally speaking, yeah, like I can't see why you'd have double Newcastle defense. I get it. What else is going on? So yeah, what an interesting couple of days for FPL. It's been very enjoyable. Hopefully I can get into that top 10k. That would be great. All right, let's get into some more tweets. Okay, so press conferences. Porro, Richarlison are available. I don't think Richarlison's going to start. Haaland feels better, but Pep does not know about Sunday. This I don't like. Eze is a doubt. That sucks. Imagine getting Eze in, like hitting him in for game week 34 and then having to get rid of him game week 35 because he's a doubt. That sucks. Palmer is available. Gusto, Chilwell are expected to be out. Sterling and Chukwuemeka are doubts. And Cuckoo, James, Colwell, Sanchez have all trained partially. So Palmer captain is quite clearly the move. Pope, Trippier, Joe Linton, Almiron are all close to return. Livramento will be assessed. Wilson is available. Bradley remain out. Mount is expected to be back. Some of this stuff doesn't really matter, does it? Tony, a couple of people got Tony in their teams. Bowen, good chance. I had McBurney in my free hit. Kabori is out for the season. Willian should be back. Just a couple of points of team news there that are super important. I think the main thing is Palmer's back, Gusto's out, right? This guy made a stir fry earlier. So did we. So I made a stir fry. It was bloody delicious. I'm doing all the cooking, which I'm enjoying. The wife's just sort of, doing the feeding and all that with the new lad, and I'm doing all the cooking and stuff, which is enjoyable. I've had 9 weeks off for paternity leave. I'm back on Monday, so things are definitely about to change a great deal in the Churchill household, but looking forward to it. But yeah, what have you guys been eating tonight on this Friday evening? Bruno is the one. Cap Isaac to cover Gordon if you're worried. Yeah, I don't like that move. So cap Isaac to cover Gordon. So what's happened here? Tough to know what to do this week. Salah to Gordon, maybe? I would definitely do Salah to Gordon in that team. That's not a bad team, is it? Couple of issues. I mean, everyone wants to get rid of Salah. Gusto's injured. Bruno is the one. Cap use that to cover. Yeah. I don't know whether or not that's good advice there from Taby's tracksuit. Taby's tracksuit. Back in game week 31 when I sold Fernandes, no one told me not to do it because he was about to come into form. You just never know. So Andy there just thinking Maddison might be the one this week. You've got to respect it. Is there a debate between Bruno and Gordon for the wildcard pick? Get them both, right? Get them both, which is what I'm doing, I think. Am I crazy thinking about doing this? It gives me extra 7 fixtures. Minus 20. Guys, minus 20. He's getting in Vicario, Byrne, Pedro, De Bruyne, Isaac, Nicholas Jackson. Yeah, that's crazy in my opinion. I think that's mad. I'm going to say yes. That is mad. A little love heart there for him. Give them a little follow. What else got going on? Gundo, wildcard 35 draft with 1 mil in the bank. This would cook. I mean, it's just so template. I don't know whether or not that would cook or not. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone who's wildcard just has the same team. This is what I'm a bit afraid of. There are just a couple of differences here and there, but I just don't know whether or not it's worth just mixing it up a little bit. The thing for me is how many people, again, it's hard to know how many people have got their wild card intact for this coming game week. That's the challenge. Got a notification. Got to check those. So yeah, I do think I'm pretty locked in. Let's go back. Yeah, -20. That is absolutely mad. We talked about that. This wildcard is beyond hilarious. So Rob is up to some stuff. What's Rob up to exactly? He hasn't posted his team, but he's up to some stuff. This wildcard is beyond hideous. What have I done? This is so funny. If anybody out there thinks Harry the effing goat Maguire won't be absolutely central to my wildcard defence, they need to slap themselves in their face with a cold, moist glove. We go down together, Sir Harold, you beautiful, massive-headed bastard. Yeah, I mean, faux show. I'm retweeting it. Peter, welcome to the show, my friend. So good to have you here. So good to have you here, mate. Lovely to meet you. Send me your team on Twitter. I'll bring it up on screen. That's something that I do as a part of the show. And yeah, thanks for joining. It's great to be here on this Friday evening. I'm not out. We have a new baby. He is 9 weeks old. So I am here. My wife's in the room with the baby. And this is a way in which I'm spending my Friday with you guys. Thinking about wildcards. Thinking about Gameweek 35. Looking through Twitter. Having a bit of a hangout. That is what is happening. And it's so good to have you here. Yeah, Hindu Monkey just sent this absolute goat of a tweet out. And I agree. I'm very much considering Mr. Harold Maguire. He is in my team starting as things stand. There it is on screen. I think Harold versus Burnley could be a bloodbath for Burnley. I like it a lot. So, I agree with the sentiment of that tweet. I love it. I absolutely love it. Laterizer 12. Now, this is where I am with my wildcard at the moment. I really want a Spurs midfield punt, but don't know how to get rid of a City attacker. The sensible thing would be to get another Newcastle or City defender and ignore a City mid, but I just like that attack so much. Bavies? Bavies could be ran. I don't know what that means. Davies, is he talking about? Reminiscing old Spurs wingbacks of past who've just done well traditionally in doubles. Still a long way from locked. Could be worth leaving a Spurs spot open. Players I like that aren't in there. Kai, White, Hoyland. That is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If so, all I ask is retweet. I'll give him a retweet. Retweet, repost. Who knows what it is nowadays? And a very template team. Actually, no, it's not template. I'm being mean there. He's got a very brave pick in dropping someone for another Man City midfielder. Is that brave? He's dropped Bruno from the template. I like Bruno. I can't... Ken, I know you're thinking about doing something like this, but who would you... Ken, answer me this. Out of Son... And I know you did send me the team. Actually, no, you didn't send me what you're thinking about KDB and Foden. Out of these players, who are you dropping for another Man City midfielder? Who are you dropping? Are you dropping Son, Gordon, Palmer, or Bruno? You tell me. So to get two Man City assets, who would you drop out of those four? Bruno, Palmer, Gordon, Son. Because that is the predicament. That's the predicament. I just think the midfield almost picks itself for Wildcard 35. And it is that template midfield. So it's going to look like this, isn't it? It's going to be Fodes out. Sorry, KDB out. And then Bruno. Can I re-put in Bruno? Restore player, boom. And then Gvardiol, and then Watkins for Haaland, isn't it? Haaland, restore player. So that midfield there, isn't it? That's what I'm saying, Ken. Like, that's the thing. That's the problem that we've got. Like, having KDB and Foden is amazing, but I'm a big believer in spreading your bets. You could get lucky and have an absolute blinder with those two, but I just think it sets you up better. And also, like, KDB is quite injury prone. I don't know. You could make a narrative for any of these kind of situations, right? But that's just my initial take. I just think it's really hard to drop one of these five. If you're asking me that question, I think it might be Son, but then he's a captaincy pick, right? So I just think from a form perspective, it's got to be Son coming out of those four. They have not got easy fixtures. Arsenal at home, Chelsea away. He's got a double game week, so how could you possibly drop Son? You know what I mean? Like, my head is telling me to drop Son for someone. Son captain worth it, or should I play it safe? I'm at 35. Yeah, so Sidesh, this is what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, those could be, either of those two could be captains. I actually have got Son as captain. I didn't mean to do that, so I'm just going to put it back on Palmer. Make captain. This is where my head's at. So Palmer captain, Son vice, sure. But then, as I said, like, it's tough because I'm in my head. I'm thinking that I need to drop Son for someone. Son for KDB, perhaps. Like that could be the move. But this right now on screen, it really is sort of like 95%. What I'm thinking in terms of my wildcard. It is template, it is boring, but I'm not going to win FPL. If I get into the top 10k, I'm happy with that. That's my goal for the season. I'm at just over 30,000. I'm at 30,323 with my wildcard and my bench boost intact. So the target of 10k is very doable, and maybe I get there by just playing it safe. Because, again, I keep going back to this point. How many people are playing their wildcard this week? Like, we don't know that. But I think a lot of managers have already played it. That's my take. All of my friends have played theirs already. Camera's doing weird stuff there. I noticed this thing, right, with... I heard this Apple... There's like an Apple update where if you do certain gestures to your cameras or to the camera, it does things. So you can do this and you get confetti. Look at that, right? If you do, you can obviously do that thumbs up, and a little thumb up comes. Yeah, nice. This one, I think, is lasers. Yes, that's deep. And then you can do. I think you can do love heart. Oh, unbelievable scenes. Okay, Ken. I guess another way to look at it is, whomever that you decide to remove, which other player does it enable? Let's say if you sell Gordon, which other Newcastle player can you get? Repeat for others. Yeah. Harvey Barnes. But you're talking about another player in another position, I'm assuming, right? So if you're taking out... So what you're saying is, like, if you take out Son, maybe get Werner up front and then get KDB. And is that right? Is that what you're saying? Or like double up on perhaps like Spurs defense. That's a good way of looking at it, yeah. But yeah, I think I'm set here. The last thing really is about Nicholas Jackson. So the quandaries I've got are Son and Nicholas Jackson. Those are my issues. But let's go back to some Twitter. Okay. Let's go back to some bookmarks. Yeah, I'm not over Barnes. I really like Harvey Barnes. You know what's going to happen tomorrow or this weekend? I actually don't know when Newcastle are playing. I'll tell you what's going to happen. Harvey Barnes is going to absolutely kill it this weekend. I'm calling it now, and Gordon will get a yellow and he'll get like a 1-pointer. That happens all the time. So if I'm brave, I do Gordon to Barnes. Like that could be the move. Captain double game week 35, Palmer or Son? Yeah, it's got to be Palmer. Worth of -12 leaves me. No, you would not -12. You would not -4 Nicholas Jackson in my opinion. These minuses are absolutely crazy. Chai, players I would choose from if I was on a Wildcard 35. Vicario or Porro, Maddison and Son, Onana and Bruno, Palmer and Gusto if fit, Isak and Gordon, Trips, Cher, Burn, Haaland, Gvardiol or Walker, KDB or Foden. I'd keep Salah on my wildcard. Interesting. PZ, what do you think about Gordon out for Richarlison? It's risky, isn't it? I mean, I think that when I put my team together, PZ, let's bring it up on Fantasy Football Hub, not a sponsor. If I think about my midfields here, right, number 1, I'm putting in Palmer. He would be my number 1 pick for midfield. Number 2 would probably be Gordon. Out of those 5, and that might sound a little crazy. I love Anthony Gordon. I think he's amazing, and it's Sheffield United at home. So, if you're asking me my opinion on that, I wouldn't do that because I think Gordon's incredible. His upside's awesome. He's awesome at home, and it's Sheffield United, who are the worst, I think, historical Premier League team of all time. So, I think Gordon this week is an absolute killer pick. On top of that, I don't think Richarlison's going to start. He is back, obviously, but I think it's going to be. So this is just my take on the Spurs attack. I think it's going to be Brennan Johnson on the right. I think it'll be Son in the middle, and I think it'll be Werner on the left. So I might have that wrong, but that's just my take on. But they played so badly in the last game, like. Maybe Big Ange is going to mix it up a little bit and bring Richarlison in. Like Richarlison's a bit of a legend, isn't he? He's a bit of an icon. He's a bit of a hero. And I wonder if that's exactly what Big Ange needs, just to kind of mix things up a little bit. Maybe he will start, and if that is the case, then that's decent. But I'll be looking at replacing him with someone else rather than Gordon, to be honest. Like I'd probably take out Bruno. And Bruno's at home. He's on pens. This is the issue this week. Like Foden's Nottingham Forest away. That's a decent fixture. Foden and Bruno predicted the same. Gordon's predicted less. I don't know how that is. I don't understand these predictions sometimes. Like, I don't know how Gordon is so low. 5.6 against Sheffield United. Like, he's pretty much their number one name on the team sheet is Anthony Gordon, in my opinion. I might even put my vice captain on him. I might do something really rash tomorrow and just like take out Son. I could like take out Son, bring in Werner up front, play 3 up front. It's not a bad shout. But I hope that answers your question, PZ. I kind of rambled there a little bit. Or is it PZ or is it PZ? Tell me. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. Or Puz. FPL Puz. Rob, I'm going to buy Edison again, aren't I? Yeah, Edison's just had historical lols with this guy. I've rarely owned Edison, but I've thought about him a few times. Later rise to 12. Again, picking midfielders on this wildcard is doing my head in. Need 6 midfield slots. Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. Exactly what we're talking about. We need 6. The solution is having 6 midfield spots. Or slots. FPL GOAT, friend of the channel. We are going for the shiny double game week picks, but I won't be surprised if the proven assets outscore them despite a single game week. Yes, this is right. This is true. So Salah cannot be written off despite him being completely out of form. Saka versus the Spurs defence, which has conceded 10 goals in the last 5 game weeks. Yeah, these two have not been on good form. Kai Havertz, who has 3 goals and 2 assists in the last 5 game weeks. I agree. I think Kai Havertz could be a really good pick this week. White, highest scoring defender this season for the best defence. Having White in my wildcard team is not a bad shout. Ken, I think you've got Gabriel, haven't you? I've seen a couple of drafts with Gabriel in. I might get Ben White in, but I wouldn't play him this week. Or would I? I could play him for sure. What is Ben White's prediction? Predicted points. Here we go, guys. Just on the fly here. Benjamin White, 3.9. Same as Cher. Maguire's a good pick. PZ. First one. Done. Could I get Ben White in for like Gvardiol? My Gabriel White could be dunk for the double. Yeah, fair enough. So you're going to play Gabriel? At what point are you looking to play Gabriel? Is it versus... Is it Bournemouth at home maybe? So could I... If I take out Gvardiol and bring in White... So that's my optimized team, apparently. Fancy Football Hub's telling me to drop Gordon to the bench and play Haaland. That's not happening. There is no way that's happening. I sometimes don't know how this app works. There we go. Nicholas Jackson is another one. What do you guys think about Nicholas Jackson? Because I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it whatsoever. I think he's going to be the storyline of the week. It's just another Darren Noodles. Yeah, White. Anyway, Gabriel, budget defender for the best defense in the league. Yeah, Watkins. Nice. Yes, Watkins. I mean, do I just go against the grain here? Do I just go against the grain here and do Watkins for Nicholas Jackson? Watkins in. I think I need to find some money from somewhere to do that. But I don't mind it. I don't mind that at all. I could take Cher out. And actually, I need to drop Haaland, I think, to get Watkins in. Anyway, okay, let's go back into some tweets. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's do FPL Most Wanted real quick. So, as I mentioned, FPL Most Wanted, this is what it looked like in the middle of Game Week 34. Most Wanted, our friend, the Egyptian King, Mohamed Salah. But this has changed somewhat because Brereton Diaz ended up getting a goal and Kai Havertz had an absolute blinder. So this, and I won't go through them one by one. In fact, you know what? I will. Number 1 on the FPL Most Wanted list is McBurney. He got a 2-pointer in his first game week, and then he didn't play in the second game because he was injured. So I'm not happy with that. I had him in my team. Not many people did, but he's in there because I had him as a punt. I was excited about him, and it just failed. Number 2 is Bukayo Saka. I think he got a 9-pointer, which is okay, but just seeing some of the scores that went down in game week 34, that's just not good enough. And he's just been a bit poor recently. So Bukayo Saka makes it. Number 3 is Henderson. He got a 5-pointer all in on a double game week. I think he has to go in there because Pickford got 18 points all in. And for me, it was either Pickford or Henderson. And I had Pickford on my bench. I went with Henderson, and it was a bad choice. But yeah, that wasn't great. Very, very hyped up for the game week. Ended up getting just 5 points. Next up is Luis Diaz. Liverpool are just terrible. And people got him in. I was tempted to get him in on my free hit. I'm glad I didn't. I did triple up on Liverpool. I had Salah, but I didn't captain him. I captained Eze. So that didn't matter. I got Trent, who got a goal. I think he got something like 10 points all in, which I'm happy with. And then I got Virgil, or VVD, as they call him. And he didn't do very well either. But Luis Diaz, I think, just given his upside and his predicted points, that was just a really bad showing. Hit the post as well in that Everton game, but yeah, not great. Next up, it's Darren Noodles, the man, the myth, the legend, has to be in there. Terrible. Is he going to get dropped? I think Klopp mentioned today that he might get dropped. He said it's hard to kind of give strikers confidence or something like that, but he's just not good enough for Liverpool, is he? And then top spot, it doesn't change. Salah, given his price point, it's just not acceptable to get. Was it 3 points all in for that game week? I mean, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So people who captained him, I think, got 6 points. I think that's right. It might be 8. It was 6, I think. So there we have it. Updated FPL Most Wanted. Not a great game week for some of these assets. Let's have a look at some notifications. I'm not sure if people are sending their teams in. Just getting gift there. That is a lot, isn't it? Just going to retweet that. Quote tweet. Harold Maguire, the slabhead. Posted. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game week. I'm excited about it. The deadline's tomorrow, 11 a.m. So make sure you set your alarms and that. Ken, how do you manage your deadlines over in Malaysia? And what time is it now for you? It must be pretty late. Malaysia time. Let's have a look. It's 4:04. It's 4 a.m. for you, and you're watching Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad and moderating my chat. What a legend! What an absolute legend! As always, I just wanted to just bring this up real quick. Here he is. This is my son, and the reason I started this channel is for him. And I'm using this as something that he can perhaps like look back on in the future. So, Arthur, if you're listening to this, I hope you're doing well. You must be old enough now to understand words and sort of look at videos and stuff, which is pretty cool. And yeah, this is Alf talking to you from the past, in the future. And I'm going to call that, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 9:05 on this Friday evening. I've got a family to get to. I want to send all my love to you guys. Thank you so much for joining the stream tonight. Sorry about the technical issues. I'll tighten the screws on the next one. I'm thinking about going live on Sunday, So looking forward to that. And I will see you all soon.